Could he benefit, as he has before, from his Kilpatrick Civic Fund or one of the other special tax-exempt funds or foundations that he and his family have set up? Filed just the other day, right after we inquired, here's the tax return that reveals last year's income and expenses for the Civic Fund, founded years ago by the now former mayor. Direct public support reported to be slightly more than $600,000, with two-thirds of it reported to have been spent, leaving nearly $250,000 in the bank at the end of last year. Alan Reinstein is a CPA and a professor of accounting at Wayne State University, an expert who has widely published articles about accounting issues such as the Enron debacle and how it happened. We asked him to review what the return reveals about the operation of the fund itself and how it does not disclose much detailed information.
So we know that during the course of last year they took in $600,000.
That we do know.
But we have no clue as to who gave the money or why.
Well, supposedly the why is in the help the foundation perform what it's supposed to perform, which is a very general statement. There's not a lot of detail. It can mean lots of things. The exact words are to promote community activities that enhance the neighborhoods in which the citizens of Detroit reside, as well as those activities that contribute to the betterment of the lives of the youth of Detroit and surrounding communities.
And who put up all that money to support the mayor's civic fund, you wonder? Well, unlike campaign contributions, he and his fund are not required to tell. So even an expert is left only to speculation as to why people would fork over donations to a fund not classified as a charity, meaning donors can't even deduct contributions on their own tax returns.
No such thing as a free lunch. If someone's giving something, usually they're going to want something in return, usually. And if there's no charitable deduction, usually they're going to really want something in return.
And as for where $400,000 in expenses went last year...
$24,000 in travel? Who's going? Why? Where?
Theoretically, though, these have to be for not personal use, but for the use of the organization.
But remember when we found the former mayor dipping into his civic fund to pay at least $8,600 for a family vacation here at the La Costa Resort out in California? The Kilpatricks, the three boys, even somebody to care for the kids. When we showed the check, signed by Christine Beatty, there wasn't much doubt about how the first family afforded that kind of luxury. Other fund expenses in 2007, $54,592 for conference and meeting expenses, $78,000 for unspecified contractual services, and they gave away almost $70,000 more in contributions to who knows who.
And they can spend the money essentially as they see fit.
Unless they do it improperly, and then only if they get caught.
Which brings us right back to what you may be wondering about now.
Would anything stop the Civic Fund from paying the mayor?
No, as long as two things occur. Number one, that he's actually working, and number two, they're paying him a normal salary for what's called necessary and ordinary business expense salary. They gave him $200,000 for giving a talk for 5 minutes. That would not be ordinary, necessary, and customary charges. And a lot of problems could arise.
Leaving town with his family last night.
Praise will confuse the enemy.
Even though he still points to the media as the enemy responsible for his own undoing, Kilpatrick knows the last thing he needs now is any more problems.
Goodbye, Mr. Mayor.
Take it easy, Steve.
By the way, Professor Reinstein says any effort by the Civic Fund or any similar tax-exempt entity to directly pay the mayor's legal bills would likely not be legal. Steve Wilson, Channel 7 Action News.